I am a bullshit person. I'm sure it's probably hard to tell through the veneer of this anorexic Clark Kent look that I've got going on. But the signs were there early. As early as 3 years old, I had memorized green eggs and ham, and my parents took that to mean that I was not only able to read, but I was a child prodigy genius. And I just never corrected them after that. All the unearned confidence had already built up in my head at that point that only a couple years later in a music class at school, the music teacher asked the whole class, does anybody here know how to play a musical instrument? And instantly my hand just shot up and I said, yes, I know how to play Puff the Magic Dragon on the piano. What I failed to mention was that this was also the first time I was seeing a piano in person. So the teacher actually called my bluff on it and asked me to demonstrate for the class. So when I got up there, I sat down and I hit one key and realized I was in deep shit. So I just summoned up all my natural talent and tried to bullshit my way out of it. I just started hitting random keys to the beat of Puff the Magic Dragon and just blamed the teacher for not tuning the piano before class. You know, it's a surprise that I'm not a bigger piece of shit, honestly, because I've always had a high opinion of myself because I'm originally from New York City, technically. I say technically is because I'm from Staten Island, which some of you may already know that that's the Alabama of the 5 boroughs. It's just this wretched swamp that the Dutch were using to throw away their garbage, and then they paved over it and filled it up with garbage people. It's amazing that I even convinced people that I was smart at that age, because if you've ever heard a child with a Staten Island accent, it's like Elmer Fudd after shooting a bag of heroin. I'm hunting dragons. I still don't like that part of my bed either. You know, and it was hard to not feel like a bullshit person around my ex. You know, we moved to Boston together because she had gotten into Harvard Law. You know, she's like a real genius. You know, someone that works and gets things done. You know, me, I'm such a piece of shit that I saw that what she was going to be making when she graduated, and I thought I get to retire in my 30s. You know, and you know, it's like. It was hard to even, you know, compare to Harvard lawyer, you know, because I have a bullshit job myself. I'm a sales engineer. That means I can't close a sale and I can't engineer anything. I just answer yes to technical questions, and people trust me because I wear glasses. I think I got the job just because I look like I work at the Genius Bar, you know? And you'd spend the entire appointment trying to figure out if it's sad or exciting that I work there at my age. It would be sad, I'm 32. But yeah, and you know, she is my ex though, so you know I had to end it unfortunately, and you know give up that life of luxury that I was looking so forward to, and you know the funny thing is it's like it took me a whole month to actually break up with her because I'm a bullshit person, as I mentioned before. You know, every time I would try to broach the subject. She would use these crazy Harvard mind tricks on me to confuse me and dazzle me. And then I'd just end up dropping the subject altogether. You know, I'd be, you know, coming up to her just very, very sad and somber and be like, I really think we should break up. Mr. Giordano. Allow me to draw your attention to Exhibit A. This is a Valentine's Day card you gave me on February 14th of 2016, is it not? That is correct. And Mr. Giordano, there's an inscription in this card. Can you tell me, is this your handwriting inside this card? That is correct. Mr. Giordano, can you read for the audience, what is written on this card for me? I love you forever, and I can't imagine being with anyone else. Interesting. Now, Mr. Giordano, we found at least one lie in this card already. Otherwise, you have a severe misunderstanding of the concept of eternity. Tell me, Mr. Giordano, did there ever come a time where you thought about being with someone else? I'd like to plead the fifth on this one. and not incriminate myself. That's okay, Mr. Giordano. I'd like to enter into evidence, Your Honor, Exhibit B. This is Mr. Giordano's internet search history. Now, Mr. Giordano, it says here on February 15th, 2016, the very next day, that you were searching redhead foursomes, comma, lucky guy. Now, Mr. Giordano, I don't know if you noticed, but I'm neither a redhead nor multiple people. Can you tell me who in this equation here is the lucky guy? You know what? Let's just order Chinese food. I'm sorry. At that point, I realized that I needed to break up with her because it was going to be way harder to get a divorce from her. Thank you very much. I'm Mike Giordano.
Thank you so much, Mike. Great job.